Email. I should have left the band on. Instagram. There's Philippus.
Already live.
He lives.
I'm alive. I'm alive, and it's really muggy out. And I honestly didn't feel like cooking or going anywhere or whatever. I just had so much crap going on with work and everything that I'm having breakfast for dinner. I'm having a bagel with cream cheese and coffee.
That I too just had breakfast for dinner and had a nice, healthy dose of honey bunches of oats with almonds.
That sounds scrumptious.
I will eat an entire box of that stuff, dude.
Well, I'm gonna eat this while on camera because we don't get paid to do this, and I don't care.
You do you, boo-boo.
Yep, and I'm touching this, and my finger's going to get all sticky.
Work's been crazy?
Crazy.
People buying, stocking up, prepping?
Yeah. I mean, it's not even prepping or stocking up. Well, let me rephrase that. It is stocking up. Guys are coming in and they're buying, hey, I need a case of this or a case of that. If I have it, great. If I don't have it, I'm sorry, man. There's nothing I can do. But I'm also getting a ton, and I mean a ton of people who are first-time gun owners. And I'm afraid of guns, but I need one. Or I haven't shot a gun in 25 years, and now I need one. And I'm afraid. And all the things are going through their head for the reasons why you should have a way to protect yourself. And it's almost like you're just realizing this now.
Right.
And I mean, I have a lot of, I've actually had 6 people in the past 10 days tell me flat out that I was anti-gun prior to a week ago. And I'm like, all right, well, you're going about it the right way. You're doing it the right way.
Pretty interesting wake-up call. And they're like, wait a second, the government can't even handle this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Try to do this while I'm eating. But you'd be amazed at some of these people that maybe they were anti-gun, maybe they're not anti-gun, but they literally say to me, I have to wait a week. Yeah.
Why?
I can't just pay you and leave with it? No. What do you mean you have to do a background check? Everyone has a background check. No, it's okay. I'm not gonna pass that background.
I'm legit.
So my buddy's gonna buy it for me. No. That's not how this works. Or I get a 95-pound, 4'9" girl who comes in with her earbud in, and her prohibited boyfriend or husband is coaching her on what to buy. And obviously I see this, so I stop this. And I say, ma'am, I'm sorry, or miss, I'm sorry. This is not for you. I know it's not for you. You're purchasing this illegally for someone else. No, this is for me. This is for me. Really?
Really? Then what are you shopping for?
Miss, this product weighs more than you do. So, but we have a camera in the front of the store. It faces the door, and it has a counter on it, right? I'm getting well over 400 people a day coming in the door, just in, not out. And what was I going to say? I forgot now. Crap. I'm having well over 400 people coming a day. And that's with limiting the number of people in the store. And that's, the neighbor boy high school kid. He's sitting out front with a walkie-talkie, and I'm telling him, "Hey, send one person in for this, send one person in for that." He's got, I got a couple here. All right, it's fine. Send a couple in. Hey, I got 3 friends. We'll tell the 3 friends if they want to come in one at a time, they can come in one at a time, or they can wait until I have space for 3 friends to come in together. And I'm still getting all these people, and I'm limiting how many people can come in. So, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, when I called you earlier, you sounded like
chaos. Yeah. Yesterday was worse than today because we didn't have a system.
Right.
Today, we mapped out our system, and it works like $1 million. All of us were less stressed. All of us had a fair bit of workload, but still have the ability to take a break and relax for a second.
Mm-hmm.
My boss, my employer is hands down the best employer I've ever had. Shh, don't tell my dad. And he's got food and snacks and everything to fuck up my nipper diet. And lunch, breakfast, dinner, everything. Hey, what's up, Mike? So everything that I could need or want to make my job easier is provided to me. So I can't complain. So, but yeah, I'm exhausted. Last night, when I texted you last night, I was done, bro. Like, I was just like fed up with the world. I just wanted to drink and just chill. But thank God we didn't do anything because I wound up falling asleep in my TV chair at like 9:30. So
I can get a drink real quick. Popcorn maybe.
I can't see how many people are watching. I'm having a bagel. I don't care who knows it. What's up, Copney? My biggest lesson coming out of this quarantine, etc., is how much America is the largest collection of fatties. Yeah, I'm one of them. But Nippery told me that as I stuff my face full of fatty carbs.
I feel like this current situation sort of warrants a fucking moratorium on that. Like the whole diet thing, like, yo,
Oh yeah,
shit's chaotic.
Mm-hmm. And then like
desperate times, it's Diet Coke.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, Mike. He says that they bought an embarrassing amount of snacks. So how about this? My cousin works as a sous chef for a major restaurant. And he was going to buy meat because one of his meat suppliers actually had protein. He's like, "Hey man, I'm getting steaks. What do you want?"
Is it Chili's?
No. He's like, "What do you want?" I said, "I don't care." I said, "Beef, pork, whatever." I said, "I don't care." He's like, no. Do you want like fillets? Do you want porterhouses? What do you want? I said, "I don't care." I said, "I'm going to cook some of it. I'm going to freeze most of it because I've eaten rabbit, squirrel willingly. I don't care. Meat's meat. I'm going to eat it." So I don't know what he got me, but he found me some.
Very nice. Katie went grocery shopping yesterday after she got out of work, and we ended up spending a considerable amount more on groceries than we usually do, and that's because all the cheaper stuff that we normally get, like we don't get, high end.
Yeah.
We need all the stuff that was left over was all the expensive stuff that nobody wanted. So,
of course,
we got the high quality.
Hey man, it's nice for a treat every now and then. I went to buy ramen noodles, man. I know, the healthiest thing in the world. But I could not find ramen noodles. Anyway,
I believe it.
the only thing left was this one brand that is basically like the bougie ramen.
Mm-hmm.
It was like $9 a cup. Crazy.
It's an interesting time.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know how many people from Florida are actually watching this, but yesterday in the early morning, a freight train that runs the East Coast Railway, which I believe is now tied to what's called Brightline, which is like a half-ass bullet train. At around 5 in the morning is when the report started coming in from the East Coast of Florida of military tanks being transported on a freight train. And it started in Delray Beach at like 6 in the morning. People started putting pictures up. Instagram takes them down. Facebook takes them down. And then right around 8:30, it made it through my town down by Pompano where my work is. And my friend showed me legit video on his phone of what I would perceive. I mean, it's a cell phone video from an intersection. You know, he's at a traffic light. But from my small amount of knowledge, they look like M1 Abrams tanks. And there's no markings on them at all. They're tan colored, and they're literally on a freight train. And there's just tens of them just going south. And every single video that was up is now taken down by Facebook or YouTube or whoever. I'm sure it's on Live Leak or something. I haven't really cared to look, but everyone's freaking out because they're like, okay, you know, National Guards in my county for medical stuff, but why do they need tanks? Why are there tanks? And then like the conspiracy theorist says they're rebelling. They're tyrannical, you know? But then the normal person in my head says they're probably just going down to Homestead to the airbase to get repainted, you know? But I just think it's hilarious.
They chose a really crappy time to do that then.
Well, I think they meant to do it. I think they meant to do it in the middle of the night. And I'm sure that's when they normally do it is the middle of the night because you never hear about that shit.
Yeah.
They got to transport them somehow. Why? What better than to do it on a train? You know? So, yeah. I mean, train's easy and cheaper and convenient, you know? You just trip them down.
We have an air station here, so we have jets flying around pretty much every day, all day. And they're really loud, but nobody bats an eye at it because we're all like, they might as well be giant crows.
Right. But
they could do whatever they wanted to us, like, and we wouldn't have no idea.
Yeah,
what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, man. When you see an aircraft, a military aircraft around here, people freak out.
Dude, some of them they fly so damn low, it feels like they're gonna crash into the freaking building. Like they do air shows and stuff here every year, and they usually fly like right over the shop. And I swear, it feels like I could take a rock and hit one of those planes. It feels like they're that close. I mean, I know they're not, but it's like they're right there. I'm afraid the windows are gonna like shatter.
The one time, scariest shit I've ever done. There used to be a gun range out on what's called Highway 27, which is very rural. It's basically where civilization meets the Everglades. And there was a gun range that pointed out into the glades. And it was when tannerite was first a thing. Those of you who don't know what tannerite is.
Tannerite's fun.
Tannerite's awesome, but it's extremely dangerous because people don't realize how dangerous it is.
I'm kind of amazed that it's been on the market this long because like playing with it, it's like, man, there's so many people that could do horrible things with this, like to themselves, you know, whatever. Like there's so much that could go wrong with this stuff.
Oh yeah. So those of you who don't know, tannerite is a binary explosive that produces no heat and no flame. You have two chemicals, the powders. You mix them together into a very tight jug or jar or whatever, and now it makes the explosive. But the reason why it's sold commercially and over the counter to anyone over the age of 18 is because I could take the jar, I could throw it across the room and hit the wall and have it shatter on the wall, and nothing will happen. It will not explode. It has to be hit with a concussive energy greater than
a certain velocity, right?
Right, certain velocity, because it has to have the molecules smack into each other. So, like, I've seen guys take a 9mm handgun and they shoot with a 9mm and nothing happens. And then somebody pulls out an actual rifle and they hit it with a rifle and it explodes. Something the size of a soda bottle will, take out your dresser. Something the size of a milk jug would, blow up the front of a car or whatever. Where was I going? Oh, the tannerite. So, lost my train of thought there for a minute. So one time, when tannerite first came out, we had so much tannerite that we lined the entire berm with it, and we had belt-fed machine guns, and we were just belting it, and boom, 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 boom. Well, I guess we set up something seismically because Key West Naval Air Station dispatched A-10 Warthogs, and they came down and circled the gun range precisely. And we were like, what the fuck? And we called fire, because everyone's got machine guns and shit. And we stood there and we waved, and we hear them, and they weren't shooting, they were just flying over.
Mm-hmm.
You see that big gun in the front, and you're like, oh my God, they're gonna destroy us. They're gonna think we're terrorists training in the middle of the Everglades, and they're gonna kill us. And then all of a sudden, they just like took off, and then 50 cop cars show up. And one cop walks into the gun range and he's like, everybody okay? And we're like, yeah, we're just blowing up tannerite. And they're like, well, Naval Air Station Key West, which is, crap, I don't know, 250, 300 miles south.
Or ways away.
Yeah. And it can't be that far. It's probably maybe 150 miles. 150 miles away.
That's still a lot.
Yeah. They said that we tripped something on their seismic shit.
That's nuts. That stuff's fun, but shit's dangerous too.
Mm-hmm. So, what are you smoking tonight?
Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust Sombre Mesa. This is the Torpedo Tiempo 6x54. Which I feel like I've had all three sizes that we carry at the shop, and the 54 seems like the best.
The 54 is a good size, man.
For this blend, it just works. I mean, the Corona is really good, but I feel like for the whole thing, this is where it's at. So,
you said that was Torpedo?
Yeah.
Okay. A good choice.
Yeah, I'm off the next 2 days, man. The last couple of days have just been. It's so bizarre. Like, you've had traffic-wise, it's been very slow, but sales have actually been the same, and then either maybe slightly below average or slightly above average.
No.
So, like, people are loading up, but
right.
Instead of me seeing, 50 people or whatever that are just buying 2 or 3 sticks, I'm seeing, like, guys that are buying, like, boxes, and it might be half that,
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about it, like, so when I went to that Drew Estate event, there were people talking about how this is the only place in town with humans in it. And I started thinking, I was like, man, there's nothing open now.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, even the stuff that's not mandatorily closed, they're still closed. So next week's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. But I'm playing by ear.
Yep.
I got chili. I got coffee. I got tobacco. That's about it. That's all I need.
Well, that's all you need.
Tonight, I'm doing the first time ever.
I was going to say, what did you get?
Tabac.
Yeah, it is.
Tabac Especial.
Oh.
Negro. Now, I never opened one of these. I never smoked one. This is my first one ever. I got the Negro because I like it. Looked like a good oily Toro, and it is literally infesting my soul with deliciousness of chocolate.
It's coffee infused.
I mean, I don't, and I had to have coffee, so I have my coffee here. I'm going to be drinking it, and this is, I almost don't want to smoke it. I just want to sniff it. I just want to sniff it. Now, have you noticed the bottom is kind of raw cut or like raw?
Yeah, it's open foot.
So, do you cut yours or you just light it?
Just light it.
Okay.
Because the point is, like, you do that, you get the flavor of the filler in the binder, and then you hit that wrapper, and then you see you taste the difference as it transitions. So.
Okay. Good. I'm glad I didn't cut it. Yeah, I was going to straight cut it. He cut the back. So.
Yep, it's called an open foot, and then you have the ones that have the wrapper that goes over the foot. That's called a closed foot. And that's so you can initially taste just the wrapper, and then it gets into the fillers and binders. But most of the time for me, I notice it just burns up and then flakes everywhere, and it's a pain in the ass.
You're right. Or I get the smell of the poorly torched wrapper, and the smell taints the taste for me in the first few drags or draws. Excuse me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this Dunbarton tobacco and trust stuff, like, you have to retrohale. If you're just smoking on it, just puffing on it, you ain't gonna get anything out of it. You retrohale it though, man. These things come alive.
Nice. Trying to swallow. So, you want to talk about zombie frogs, or do you want to talk about? Now I had another thing I was going to say, and I forgot. Oh, about MPK's Exotics fill line of venomous rags.
That's whatever you want to go into first, man.
We're talking about both. I don't care.
Well, I came home and the frog is fine. Actually seems like it plumped back up just fine after being in the tank for a few hours. It's the same one. It's that same male, and I know it because it has the patch.
Yeah.
Because at first, like, there was a small sliver of doubt where I was like, this is probably just one of the remaining two that somehow got out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, by whatever.
How did
alignment of the stars?
How did they ship them to you?
Huh?
How did they ship them to you?
Just in a 7x7x6 box, not the box that I had used, but a different one of the UGR boxes.
Right, I have your box in my trunk.
Yeah, I got it right here.
I forgot to give it to them because I didn't go there Monday. I just was so swamped with work, man. Okay, cool.
Just
but now,
labeled.
were they perfect? I still have your box. I'll mail you your box back with something in it, of course. I was going to ask you, how do they actually package them? Was it like in moss or whatever?
Just wet paper towel.
Okay.
Which is fine. I pack them with a plant just because that plant gives them oxygen and stuff, and then that box is sealed. There's no holes in the box, you know?
Yeah.
So by having that plant in there, that helps them produce some oxygen and all that. So.
What's up, hen dog?
Hen dog.
So, you find him. He's alive and well. Are you going to do the calcium? What was you said? Borkin was telling you about that?
Reed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the back. We'll rewind it and we'll go back to the beginning. All right. So I'm at work today, and I feel my phone buzzing in my pocket, so I pick it up and I'm like, man, what's this? Like, Katie called me like 5 times, and I had my phone. I keep my phone on vibrate 24/7. Like, I never have it on. Like, it's always on vibrate. I never have it so that I can actually hear it. So I check my phone, and like, there's a text message from Katie that says, I found a frog in the dining room. And I was like, oh shit, here we go. So then I called her back. She's like, one of the orange frogs is on the dining room floor. And I thought maybe she was talking about one of the imitator Veraderos, because those are orange. Like, those Camellia aren't orange, they're red.
They're red, yeah.
I was like, send me a picture of it. She's like, it's one of the new ones. I was like, how do you know? She's like, well, it's got the red, like the orange body and the black legs, which still could be the Veradero because those have blue and black legs and they're orange. I was like, send me a picture of it. So she did.
And your Veraderos are small enough that they still have the orange is brighter, right?
That's not going anywhere. That's
Okay.
like the full color, yeah.
Mm.
And so she's like, no, it's one of the new ones. I was like, okay. It's like, well, send me a picture. So she's like, it's kind of sluggish. It's hopping a little bit, but I don't think she realizes, like, the Pumilio don't take very long hops. Like, they're
Right.
very short hops compared to the Vitatis, which will like zing, 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 like ninja their way.
She's imagining like a leopard frog.
Right.
Table, yeah.
And so I was like, man, this must have been one of the two that remains. Okay, so I have to back it up even further. So I got frogs from Phil and Underground. I traded a handful of Vitatis. I have a ton of Vitatis froglets. I had to get rid of some. They had some Pumilio, some Vega Pumilio. So I was like, I'm gonna give them a shot. I'll see if they're open to trade. If not, if I crash and burn, I have a million other Vitatis froglets, so it's not like I'm shorting myself on anything. So I got in these 3 Vega Pumilio. Put them in the tank the night they got there.
To say, right?
Huh?
I love saying that genus name. Like
Vega.
Like Dendrobates is cool. Phylobates is cool.
Vega. Yeah.
Go on, sorry.
So I got them home. Well, they came to work. I checked on them when I got to work at like 7 p.m. I closed up the other shop, came to the other shop, got there at 7-ish. Opened them up. They were all fine. Took them home, set them up in the tank, and threw some flies in there just to make sure they got some vitamins and some food in them. Hosed them down real good. The usual stuff. So I noticed like the male, because it's supposed to be a trio, it's supposed to be a male and 2 females. The male of that group, he was kind of like, when I put him in there, the other 2 like disappeared. They were like, deuces, I'm out. They disappeared in like the first little crevice they could. One of them went straight up to the top because there's like a ledge up there, and that's where she's been hanging out. And so the male just kind of sat there, and he kind of walked around a little bit, and he just continues. I was like, man, it was like, maybe he's just getting his bearings, whatever. So I woke up the next morning, and the male was dead. Like, male was in the same spot that he was when I turned off the lights last night. Like, hadn't moved. And so I have like some chopsticks or bamboo skewers I use a lot, like the blunt end. And so I kind of prodded him a little bit because I was like, okay. And he just kind of like, I prodded him, he just kind of like tilted, like a dead body. And so I was like, well, shit. Yeah. And so I went and got a glove because these are imports, so they're still toxic, So I went and got a glove, and I picked him up, and I was looking at him, and he was like on his back, like not moving. I didn't like. Usually, you could see their throats moving. None of that.
I think I still have the picture in my phone.
So I was like, "This thing is straight up dead."
Yeah,
he's dead. And so I was like, "Whatever, there's nothing I can do about it." I put him in the trash because I was like, "What am I going to do? I can't like throw it outside because I don't want something to eat it and die because it was toxic." And so then I didn't take out that trash immediately, which I'm kind of glad I didn't.
Right.
Right. And so today, Katie calls me. There's a frog in the dining room. And I shit you not, the same frog that I swore up and down was dead was on the dining room table alive and now back in the tank and in better shape than it was in. Yeah. He's in better shape than it was. Like, he looks fatter than that now.
That's good. It's great.
And so I'm like, she sent me a picture, and that one has the most sort of that peppering,
right,
out of all 3 of them. And so I was like, there's no way that's the same frog because that frog was straight up dead.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned if that wasn't the same frog. Fine. So that fool climbed out of the trash can at some point, has been living in the dry ass dining room. It's like laminate floors. Like it's not. There's no moisture whatsoever.
Well, all right. So did you like roll them in a paper towel, or did you just like plop them in the trash can?
Plopped them.
Because I was gonna say is, he obviously climbed out. It probably took him a day to climb out.
Well, I mean, there was a good bit of stuff in the trash can, so it wasn't like deep in it.
Yeah, but he's still 6 inches, 8 inches at least.
Dude, they climb like crazy.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. That little female in the tank, the one who went straight up top.
Oh yeah.
2 or 3 little hops. It was like zing, zing, zing there. And I mean, that's an 18 by 18 by 24 tank. So it wouldn't have taken them long. It's just strange that I never noticed it. Like, never saw it hopping around.
How many other did any of the other family members in your home throw stuff in the garbage and not see the red frog climbing out?
Well, that's the garbage can in the snake room. So pretty much everything else in there's mine.
So he climbed out of the garbage can, made his way across the room, underneath the door, and then
no, the door stays open. We don't have a cat or anything. So.
Okay.
But to not survive at that low of a humidity, which, I mean, those Nicaraguan blue jeans do come from a slightly drier sort of climate than you get from like the South American and Costa Rican stuff. But so I had Katie, after she caught him, I had her put him back in the tank. And then Ryan Reed, who I don't believe is in here, he might be. I told him about it, and he was like, oh, man, next time that happens, he called me. He's like, next time that happens, put them in a container, sprinkle some calcium on their back, and then mist them. So you can, like, osmosis. Their skin's permeable. They breathe through their skin. So by doing that, I think calcium has, like, neurological effects if they don't get it. And, I mean, most animals, if they don't get calcium, like, I think there's a neurological issue that happens as a result. So, yeah, sprinkle a little bit of calcium on their back and then hose them a little bit so it dissolves and gets into the skin. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll remember that next time in case any of the other two start to go downhill. So then Katie found this guy and did that. And I don't know how much I was on the phone with her. I wasn't like FaceTiming with her or anything. I was like, sprinkle a little bit on there and then spray him. And I came home and I took a bamboo skewer again and kind of prodded his butt a little bit. Mm-hmm. And he bloop, 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 like ran away from it, like completely responded, completely reactive. So
nice. Rock and roll.
What are the freaking odds, man? So I've named him DiCaprio because the first thing I thought of was like, dude, this little dude's like DiCaprio in The Revenant.
Yeah, he is. He is most definitely. That's hilarious. By the way, what's up, Herr Wagner? We're going to share pictures of your rack system with mine locks. So I just lit this. I took a little mini draw, and you can definitely tell the flavoring right off the gate. But you were right. I got that mix of binder, filler, everything right off the gate, right out of the gate. I almost wish that I couldn't taste the flavoring to really see what it's really working with. You know what I mean?
If it's anything like the other Jewish State stuff, it's probably subpar, not great tobacco.
Yeah.
I've had some of their other stuff that isn't flavored. Like there's a acid they make called like Acid 1, and it doesn't have any sweetener on it. And it was, I think I literally took like 2 or 3 puffs and trashed it because it was just, it had zero flavors, like smoking cardboard.
Oh.
So I was like, this is probably why they use this tobacco for this, because if it didn't have that, no one would buy it.
So for years, there's been a convenience store next to Underground, the retail store, and it changes hands. It's usually owned by some Pakistani folks, and not the people that own it now, but the people before that. They sold it to the people that are there now. It was, I guess, their cousin or whatever, but it was this guy named Abraham. And Abraham was this like adorable little 5'2" Pakistani man, and he was just funny as hell. He was just the nicest guy ever. And apparently, he managed the convenience store and worked like 2 other gas stations all at the same time because he had like 3 kids in college, and he was champion of a fella. But I ran out of cigarettes one day, and I went there to go buy smokes. And he's like, oh, my friend Phil, you should try real Pakistani cigarettes.
Oh, man.
And I said, what do you got? He goes, the best cigarette in the world. It's the cheapest cigarette in the world, but you can only enjoy it if you're Pakistani. He says, if you like these, that means you're secretly Pakistani. I said, I'll give it a try.
I think I already know where this is going.
It was 99 cents for the pack. Okay? And this was maybe like 5 years ago. It wasn't like it was a long time ago. And so I buy it, and I walk over to Underground, and I go to show my friend. Cause I think we were doing Venomous back then. We had Venomous there, and we were cleaning cage or whatever. And I go to pack the cigarettes, and I realize I don't even know what they look like. I should probably open this before I pack anything. Oh, Cox! Shots fired.
Missed you too, buddy.
So the pack is sealed in cellophane, just like a normal cigarette box, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I tear it open, and I open the box, and it has the tin foil, just like normal cigarettes. And when I open it, they are literally single leaves of tobacco rolled perfectly into a cigarette, tied with twine. So I walk back.
All right.
I go to Abraham, and I say, Abraham, what the hell is this? He goes, this is good Pakistani cigarette. I tell you, if you like this, you are secretly Pakistani because only Pakistani men like these cigarettes. I said, this is not a cigarette. I said, this is a dead leaf wrapped in twine. He goes, no, it's okay. He says, don't untie the twine. Just smoke the twine. Smoke it. He says, that's the Pakistani way.
Dude, he's fucking with you at that point. If he tells you to smoke the twine, like he's
No, he says, you smoke the twine. This is how it is done. I said, fuck it. When in Rome. So I go out front, and he's watching through the door, and I light it. And I take a drag off of it. And it was the most god-awful thing I've ever smoked in my entire life. I didn't even get to the twine. It was so bad. It was like it was like a horribly crusty cigar that's just dried out that has already been lit and burnt.
nice.
It was atrocious. So I throw the thing in the gutter. I walk back in. I said, "Are you crazy?"
I'm not Pakistani.
He says, "I guess we're not Pakistani." And I laughed. He laughed. The cigars laughed. But here's the kicker. So I don't remember what they're called. They had a funny name. And I went over there to get like a Gatorade or something like a week later. And there happened to be two Pakistani guys standing out front just bullshitting. And they're both actually smoking those cigarettes. And I said, hey, you guys smoking blah, blah, blah? And they both looked at me and they're like, you know what this is? I was like, of course, man. That's the real deal shit. And they both were like, holy shit, look at this white guy. So I got brownie points, but it was god-awful. Horrible.
God, I hate clove cigarettes.
Oh, yeah. I loved cloves in college, man. That was the ticket. You smoked cloves in college, girls would come up. Oh my God, are you smoking cloves? I could totally go for a clove right now. I'd be like, really? I happen to have some right here. Thank you.
It's like I had the menthol ones once, and it was like smoking potpourri, dude.
I've never tried anything but the original black ones.
And then it left this weird coating on my teeth. Like I could feel it.
You see what I just did? I just rubbed my tongue on my teeth because I'm weirded out by that.
Yeah, it was horrible. And I have people who get all excited that come to the shop because we sell like every flavor of black you could ever want.
Well, they're illegal in Florida, so I'm envious. I don't know. I probably don't have the palate for it now. I mean, I was like 19.
Why are they illegal?
Because they're flavored. Can't have any flavor.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. So they have black cigars, but they don't have a filter or anything, and they taste like garbage. So.
Yeah, if they ended up banning these, I wouldn't be upset. Like these things are.
And then a friend of mine told me that they're probably going to ban menthol cigarettes in Florida.
Yeah,
in 9 months or whatever.
There's a lot of talk of them doing that everywhere.
That's going to hurt me. That's going to hurt me.
Smoke reds like a real man.
I used to. I smoked reds for a while, and then I smoked Camel Turkish Silver for a while. Which isn't that what Jake smokes?
He smokes the ones in the red pack.
I don't remember. I don't know what it is now.
Camel Reds.
Camel Reds. And then one of my favorites was Camel Wides. Do you remember them?
Yeah.
It was literally, as my cousin calls them, cartoon cigarettes because they look like Bugs Bunny would have one. And I smoked those for a long time, but they were really expensive. And then I went up smoking Camel Menthol Silver, man.
Yay.
No, Cox. I did not smoke Salem Black Labels. Did you smoke the Flames? You know who smoked Virginia Slims probably to this day? The Raven Nostrum from Strictly. He smoked Virginia Slims every day I've ever known him. And I ran out of cigarettes one day because I used to smoke in the Venomous room. And I ran out of cigarettes one day, and he comes in, and he's like, Phil, I'm out of cigarettes. You got any cigarettes? I was like, no, I ran out. I was going to go to the gas station and get some. He goes, I don't want to go to my truck. Go to my truck and get my cigarettes, and I'll let you have a couple. I said, all right, fine. Me not remembering that he smoked friggin' Virginia Slims. So I go, I get the cigarettes, I come back with Virginia Slims. He's like, here. He hands me 3. And I'm like, we call him Pops. I was like, Pops, what the fuck am I going to do with these cocktail straws? He goes, come on, man, have a little, what did he say? Not class. He's like, have a little class. No, have a little, I don't remember what he said, but to the extent of have a little class, smoke a classy cigarette, that kind of thing. And I remember taking a draw off of it, and it was like breathing through a cocktail straw. It was the stupidest thing I've ever done. But I did it.
We were talking about those at work like 2 days ago. I was like, those things look like, you know how you ever take a strand of hair and like take a lighter and hit it, and you see the hair just like zzz?
Yep.
It's like that's what smoking Virginia Slim to me is probably like. Like you just you light it, take 2 puffs, hey, it's gone. Like it's all
it lasts a lot longer. I mean, Pop smoked a lot of them, probably for a particular reason. I don't know, but
I've never smoked cigarettes.
You're missing out, man. All the cool kids are doing it.
I doubt that very much.
Just saying. James Dean did it. You know, Cary Grant did it. You know, I'm just
Wonderful. Saying. And how many of them are alive?
All of them. They're all up in the fucking heaven. I don't know. I got nothing. So. I will say this, though. The back of this thing's falling apart, which is not making me happy. I think I'm drooling on a little too much. But.
Gross.
So, Herr Wagner sent me pictures of the locking mechanisms that he's been testing. And I happen to have them here because he got his Cambro tubs before me. I've just been so busy with work, man, and everything going on. I just haven't had a chance to get the damn things. But check this out.
So is he cool with it being public?
That's a good question. Before I post this picture.
Maybe he's here.
What's that?
No, you just have to paint us a picture.
So
he should be here, yes.
He is here, yeah. If he doesn't want me to put it up, I won't put it up. That didn't occur to me. My apologies. But yeah, basically he has a locking mechanism that's a pop-up lock recessed into the shelf of the rack.
Kind of like what you were talking about originally, right?
Right. Well, we were talking about it being in the front of the drawer, and then when you push the button in, the lock comes down. But this is actually on the shelf, like on top of the shelf, right?
Okay.
So there's just enough clearance with the feet of the Cambro tubs. So when you slide the tub in, it doesn't touch the lock. And when the lock is pushed in, it puts a peg down below into the tub below it, preventing that tub from being opened. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now,
I don't know how he does it, man. That whole engineering stuff is just it's.
And here's the kicker.
It's chicken magic.
He says, and I quote, I texted him, I said, bro, that's amazing. The gap on that is non-existent. He says nearest is 1/32 of an inch. You can't see the gap.
He said you're good to show anything, Phil, so whip it out.
Oh, nice. Here we go.
I'm not talking about the pictures.
Excuse me while I whip this out. I don't know if anybody's going to get that reference. Hen Dog better get that reference.
I didn't even get it, and I usually can pick up on pretty much any reference.
Blazing Saddles, bro.
Oh.
When he pulls the note or the piece of paper out of his belt, he's like, excuse me while I whip this out.
I haven't seen that enough times to remember that. That's why.
How about today? I had a guy buying something.
Mel Brooks, though.
I had a guy buying something today, and he lived on Rock Ridge Street. And I was like, oh, man, tell me you've seen Blazing Saddles. And he's like, no, what's that? And, like, he was old enough to have seen it. You know what I mean? Fuck, he was old enough to have seen it in the theater.
He was totally in that demographic.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
The
So
coronavirus demographic.
yeah, right, exactly. So here is, by the way, MP Cajun Exotics does not endorse this name. I'm calling it the Wolf Venomous Rack. But there we have it. So I don't know if you guys can see. If I go, if I'm going to switch screens real quick, you keep it up like that. Can you see my mouse right now?
Yes.
Do you see a little plus sign?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. So here is, I don't know if you see the top of the locking mechanism, right?
Uh-huh.
So the key goes in here, right? When the key gets turned, this guy pops up, and then this peg pops inside the shelf, allowing this drawer to be drawn out. And then the way that the Cambro tubs are, they have little feet here and here with like a little rim, so that if there was a tub up here, the tub would slide over, passing over top of this locking mechanism. And then at the same time, when this is popped up, it also acts as another prevention for the tub above to be drawn out. But I don't know.
Right.
I'm going to try and zoom in on this.
Do it. So like that's there's like a lip that catches that, or does it?
Yeah. So there. See, that's tub right there.
Yeah.
This is. Let me. Hold on. I'm trying to. Hold on. What's going on?
Scroll.
There we go. Look at that gap, bro. Nothing is going to get through that. And that's what makes MP Cajun Exotics the best. Right there.
Like I said, I don't know how he does it, man. It blows my mind. And maybe it's because I'm horrible at math and doing these things, but
yeah,
it makes me feel dumb, but in a good way.
Tell me about it. You're preaching to the choir, pal. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, I can have a Squaminger viper give birth to a full litter and not worry that the Virginia Slim sized baby is going to squeeze through that minute of a gap. Oh, look at my mouse got big. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm thoroughly impressed by it. Thoroughly impressed. Can't wait to actually get it.
He's the man, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I finally got my my rack from him inhabited and set up on the thermostat.
Excellent.
So
excellent. And you're using the what's it called thermostat? The
Inkbird. Yeah.
Inkbird. Thank you.
And
I made the shape. Right.
And Jake's like really questioning why I trust those, and I'm like, dude, I have no reason not to.
And hey, if it goes bad, you have other thermostats. You know what I mean? So what?
I mean, if it doesn't do the job, then I just end up ponying over the dough for a hobby stat or something from RBI.
Yeah, I mean, and realistically, like I said, if they're cold for a night, they'll be all right. They'll be fine.
There was actually like 2 or 3 nights where they were in like the low to mid 70s, and they did fine. They don't.
Excellent.
They don't care.
Actually, I have another picture from MP Cajun Exotics that I'm going to show. If I can figure this out. Oh my God, there's the dead Pamelia. Why is that still there?
He's not dead.
The not dead one. Excuse me.
Well, then in the group chat that we have with Carly and Cox and them,
right?
They started making all these like Jesus references.
Oh, really?
They were like, "He is risen."
Yeah, I'd be honest.
On the 3rd day.
On the 8th day, God created Torok. So I'm trying to find it. Forgive me for not being part of this, but I did not get a chance to go on the Cream chat just like in the past like 2 days because I haven't been on Instagram in like 2 days. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, there's Jesus the frog.
¿Cómo se dice frog en español? Where is this picture that Sean sent me? I have pictures of your rack. I don't know. I'm losing my mind. But he also teased me by showing me his new baby, albino Darwin. And dude, I am not about morphs at all. But the only morph that I actually love is those damn albino Darwins. Those things are awesome. Rana. Rana, is it a roll? Are we rolling it?
Rana, yeah, like almost like the genus or the family. Like Ranidae.
Okay, man. Okay. Ooh, I just got a big hint of coffee off that last draw. I must have hit something in there. Let me do this. Let me ash this a little bit just to knock that off. That looks pretty good. Here we go. You ready? That's it. I can die happy. That's it.
I don't even know what the wrapper is on this one.
I was gonna say something about Sean's cage. Oh, and we decided, him and I decided that we're just gonna do back heat because
man, I don't care what Jake says. Like, I love back heat over belly heat.
Well, all right. So I have belly heat on all the knobtails, and the only thing in my mind that makes me smitten with it on the knobtails is because there's literally like 5 to 7 pounds of sand in each tub.
Yeah.
So I have that thing kicked up to the point where actually it's not. I mean, it's not that high. I exaggerate. It's probably. I actually have to look at the thermostat. I don't remember what it's set up. I think the probe is set at like 96, but the sand on the surface where the gecko sits is only like 84.
Right.
And then the cool side is like 77, 76. So, but yeah, Sean and I decided back heat because it's obviously way easier to do for me, for him, everybody. But I don't even know if I'm going to turn the thing on. I may just rig it for lighting and then not even put a thermostat or heat on it because the ambient in the room is like 80 most of the year. I would say at least 80% of the year. Yes, Henry, the seed mats will go through. Thank you. Henry's in love with those seed mats, man. He really is. And Henry,
back heat just after my experience with the AP rack and having to snake all the heat and stuff through that, and then the experience of putting Sean's stuff together where it's already on the back panel. You just literally have to attach the back piece and plug it in. Like I didn't have to attach the heat and the flex squad or any of that. I'd have to put any of that on there myself. It was there and ready to go, and that made life a lot easier because. Like I was saying with that AP rack, like getting the heat tape and stuff snaked through there and snug, but not too snug was just horrible.
Well, at the same time, though, what do you think is honestly, excuse me, what do you think is honestly better for the animal? I mean, obviously it depends on the ecosystem, depends on the type of animal, all that jazz, but for your arboreal and semi-arboreal animals that you have in said rack, is belly heat better or is back heat better?
I feel like back heat's better just because with like the chondros in particular, I'm not even really aiming for a hot spot. I'm aiming more for a relative ambient.
Right.
Somewhere in the area of, Andy's doing one that's both.
Okay.
And I'm sure he could explain sort of the...
Nice. There you go.
We talked about it. I think he had called me or we were talking on Facebook about it, and he explained it.
Well, I also think, too, is like, obviously Andy is a, what's the word I'm looking for? Andy is not how do I phrase this? His attention to detail with temperature and humidity gradients is far greater than anyone I've ever met. The fact that he has his cell phone with all of the live data from the cages. I'm not talking about a Wise camera like most of us have. I'm talking about legitimate Wi-Fi probes telling him the barometric pressure and shit all on his phone. The kid's amazing. Love him to death.
He's a detail-oriented guy.
Most definitely. I mean, that's probably why he's successful. He works where he works. But I also think about this too: is that the majority of your southern climate is warm. The majority of my southern climate is warm. He only gets 4 or 5 months, if that, of warm weather, maybe even 2 or 3.
Right.
So, in my opinion, for
It's a
him,
necessity.
it's a necessity where, let's say he has the back heat set at an ambient 80, and then the belly heat is his hot spot at 87, whatever, 89, whatever it is. I think that's brilliant. Lower? What?
I have my stats set for the Condors at like 83 or 84.
Oh, you're talking. I was just speaking generalities. Yeah.
But actually, with that back heat, I do have it slightly higher because just the way that heat operates, where it's rising.
Yeah.
You're not getting it pushed out; it's getting up. So I have it cranked up. Maybe like normally with the other rack, I would have it set to 85. This I think is actually set to maybe 86, 87, just to compensate for that warmer end. But I'm still tweaking it as I go. If I notice they're all hugging the cooler end, clearly it's a little warm. If 1 or 2 are doing it, there's always going to be some individuals that prefer they like the cooler end. They don't like the hotter end. So I'm just sort of tweaking it as I go. But I mean, everything so far seems like it's fine. That one from Brahms is supposed to be shedding, I think probably tonight actually.
Nice.
I'm really excited to see that because that one started to change a little bit.
Cool.
And I'm anxious to see what comes out.
And by the way, Andy, you're very welcome, man. You deserve it, man. You're an awesome dude. I love hanging out with you, man. And your animals are breathtakingly awesome. And your attention to detail, as Justin said, it's paramount. One of the things I did with my Sea Serpents rack that has all the adult female cinctus in it is when I first got the rack, before I even put any animals in it, I had the one side was all the sand, the other side was just naked tubs, and I set it, and I temp gunned every single tub, both the front and the back, because it's back belly, right? It's the back section of the belly, right? And I temp gunned every single tub because I wanted to know if, because heat rises, I wanted to know how much heat is dispersed in between each shelf layer. Like, is the top tub hotter than the bottom tub? You know what I mean? Just by way of the world. And I was very impressed that it was not at all. They were equal, every single one.
Yeah, that's hard to. Yeah. I know he's had 1 or 2 racks. I want to say it was probably the Vivarium Electronic ones. I think one of them was a TGR, but he was having an issue where there was like a 5-point difference between the top and the bottom.
Holy crap!
Like it was a big gap, and he did everything to try and get it somehow, get it straightened out. And you could either fry the animal on the top just to get the bottom one where it needs to be, or you could keep the other one really cool, which would be fine if you were doing something that calls for it. But Jake doesn't, so he was really frustrated with that for a while. And then there was one model where it had almost like an individual heat paint, like one of the Ultratherm heat pads from Reptile Basics.
Right.
Maybe one that was like, if I had to guess, it was probably like an 8x8 or so. But it was like elevated off the bottom of the shelf. So the tub, it came out like a shelf almost, and the tub sat on that.
Okay, like a riser.
Kinda. It was really bizarre and honestly really stupid because it lifted all that up, and so all that heat kind of just escaped from out the bottom, and like all the temperatures were really watered down.
Right.
Like you'd set it to this, but it'd be like 3 degrees, 4 degrees cooler than what you have it set at because all that heat just whoop.
Yeah. That's exactly what was happening with Henry and his tubs with the radiant heat panel, is that the tub was at just the right angle where the heat just went right at the top. So
Sean just sent me a picture of some 72 quart, a rack with 72 quart tubs that he's using that I guess someone got for some lychees.
Sweet.
Which is pretty cool. I just, man, the tubs fit so well on there. Like the the bottom ones are snugger than the top two, but they still all slide out very easily.
Excellent.
I don't have to worry about sloshing water and it just like going over and getting everything wet.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to ask Sean. I forgot to. I mean, obviously he's listening right now, I'm assuming, but was how easy those Cambros slide in and out, like how smooth it is, or if it has a little drag. I don't mind a little drag. You know what I mean? As long as I'm not splashing crap.
Right. Well, if you're opening with a hook too, that's kind of thing even matters even more because if you have to put a lot of effort into it and flex your hook, break the tub,
right. Especially on a long.
I've got that huge. That Promelio tank is 18 by 2 by 24. I have that sitting on top of Sean's rack, and that's sitting on top of what's kind of like a little sort of end table drawer.
Nightstand.
Yeah, kind of. It's a little shorter than what you would have for like an average nightstand, but and it's doing fine. Like I put that tank's not light. It has all the lava rock and all the stuff in it, and it's just a big tank. And I checked to see if maybe it would affect the drawers and cause it to like bend or anything like that. Nothing, dude. It's solid.
Excellent.
So
and the top ones don't have more drag than the bottom because of the weight.
Yeah, no, it's exactly the same. I was kind of worried. I was like, man, I really hope this doesn't like everything just come crashing down, and then I have broken glass and snakes and frogs all over the place. But so far, so good. And it's nice because that tank's like up high, kind of. So it's a little bit of a pain if I have to like get in the back, which I really don't have to. But like it's kind of eye level for me, and I'm 6'4", so I'm tall. I'm tall as shit. So for me to be able to like just have something that's sort of eye level is nice.
The other thing that I want to brag about, just because I'm that douchey, is can we just talk? I don't know if do you mind throwing this up for a minute? Can we just talk about how beautifully crystal clear those camera tubs are?
They are nice.
And how I am such a bougie asshole that I love those.
I like Cambro tubs, man. I just don't like paying for Cambro tubs.
I know, and that honestly, that was one of the deciding factors in us going with this particular size, is because the next size up would be much better space-wise, but it's almost not necessary, and it's double the price, man.
Yeah.
Not like $10 more, double the price. Easy.
But
so
you also, those things are going to last forever.
Yeah. And I basically am trying to make a promise to myself that I'm only going to use bottled spring water for misting, because we have some pretty hardcore elements and crap. So, oh yeah, my man Andy. Mm-hmm.
It's just the Sean Wagner power hour, and I love it.
It really is, dude. How do you not love this guy? And Sean says he's going to try a hook tomorrow. Excellent.
No, but in talking to Sean, especially about the rack that I got, when I was building it, I think I got mine, and there was like one of the corners had like broken or something, and so I told Sean, he was like, oh, he was like very almost like militant about, I'm gonna fix it, I'm gonna send you another one. I'm like, dude, it's fine. Like I just put a screw in right next to where that one would have gone. It's no big deal. So Sean is very much so like a perfectionist, and I appreciate that, because other people would have probably been like, sucks, sorry.
Yeah.
But I'm not a picky guy. I'm not gonna gripe about small stuff like that. It's like, okay, I can't put a screw in that hole now because that hole's kind of like gone. Just put a screw next to it. So
yeah, the one thing that I wanted to really talk to Sean about with the Cambros is, because I've never owned a Cambro rack, but I have held them in my hand and I've played with them and stuff. But the flex that you have in normal tubs, whether it be a CB70, which we all have for one reason or another, even we don't have a snake worthy of it, we all have CB70s or V70s, or just your standard Sterilites like you and me and everybody uses, because I'm a Sterilite junkie, I love it, is that especially when using a hook, when I use the hook and I'm pulling straight out, if trying to do this backwards. Okay. So if this is the hook, right? I hook it in and I'm pulling straight out, right? The back of the tub, especially on the V70s because they're so long, or CB70s because they're so long, the back of the tub is doing this.
Dragging.
Right?
Yeah.
And now it's really causing drag because the whole tub itself is flexing. So what I've done is I'll actually start the tub. Well, let me rephrase this. With venomous, if it's something terrestrial that I know I'm not in harm's way, I will start the tub with both hands and just pull it towards myself slowly to give myself the break in the gap. And then I'll switch to a hook and I'll put the hook through the gap and then draw it out.
Yeah.
Right. But again, we're talking about like small arboreal vipers or baby rattlesnakes or something that I'm not going to get that gap open and it's not going to fly out and grab me.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Excellent, Sean.
Cambros. I've had my hands on some Cambros. Those things are raw. Like there's if you're gonna flex it, it's probably gonna be because you're like taking one in and twisting them opposite directions, and even then, it's not gonna be much. And I think that thing would just straight up crack.
Yeah,
I'm sure Andy could chime in because I think Andy has some Cambro racks and stuff, and
cool.
He'll tell you firsthand that I don't think that's gonna be the case because it's a much harder plastic. Those things are.
Right.
That's why I'm like, if I got some, I'd be afraid to drill them. And Andy's told me multiple times, like, you can drill Cambros without a problem. But I always feel like I'm gonna drill it, and it's just gonna like shatter.
Well, that's the thing is, I never drill tubs because I'm terrified of cracking them. And like Henry tells me, oh, I'm using the wrong bit, and like I've had other friends be like, oh, you have to get fresh bits, and they have to be a certain diameter because when you go in, it's going to wiggle and blah, blah, blah. And like other times I've had brand new bits that were meant for going through like acrylic and I don't apply enough pressure with the hand drill. And what's it do? It goes and skips off. And now I have this scratch. Oh yeah. So I hate it. So I use a soldering iron and I come out back because it smells like hell. And I ingest some horrible cancer-ridden chemicals and go from there.
Yeah, I hate that though. I just don't have the patience for soldering iron.
Dude, it's so quick because I get it so hot and I literally just go boop in, boop in, boop in. What I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to try my soldering iron technique and see how it goes on one tub. And if it turns out that the holes are too big, or because like that's the whole thing is Sean and I are mapping out how to have zero gap, but now I have a hole big enough that a baby can slither through. You know what I mean? It defeats the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably gonna get a different bit that's like a super thin, like almost like a sewing needle bit, and try and do that with the soldering iron because I also like how it melts the rim of the hole. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's rounded. I kind of like the way it looks. And yes, I saw Henry's holes. Henry drilled some holes in some Sterilite 54 quarts, 52 quarts. And his drill was flawless. But again, that's Henry. That's not me. I don't have that hand. I can't do it. And my holes are all crooked. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe for the Cambros, I'll get a ruler and like a Sharpie and like actually do dots where I'm supposed to drill. With the Sterilites, I'm just like, So I'm holding back right now because I really want to be like, yes, Henry, I did see your holes. Yes,
I'm tempted to talk to Sean about maybe like how you see those Dart Frog tanks that are they're called the European style.
Seamless.
They have like the track in front of the doors where air comes in and down.
In, and then the vents are up here. So the air goes in and comes
right.
Yes.
Talk about doing something like that.
That is supposed to be the ideal way for arboreal vipers as well.
Because getting those glass, they ain't cheap. There's a guy who's actually working on a GoFundMe he has these ones that's like a aluminum coated poly or something, and he ships them flat, and you put them together, and it requires like next to no drills or anything like that. They're very easy to set up, but I don't know. I'd be curious to do something where there's like a strip on top with either glass or screen as a vent, and then a light can go on top of that, and then have that airflow.
This is the sliding doors in the front.
Yeah, let me see. I'll show you. Let me pull one.
And then the front of it has a black plastic strip with a metal grill as the ventilation holes in the front.
Yeah.
Underground has them for sale. I will tell you right now, not only do they not hold water, in my personal opinion, do they not hold water, but I would not trust it to not crack, because I would say at least a third of the ones they get in shipment come in broken.
Well, yeah, they're all glass, dude.
No, but I'm just saying, I think it's something to do, because like they get Exitars all the time, and Exitars are not broken. Zilla is not broken. Zuma is not broken, but those they break in shipping for whatever reason.
Let me see. It's this.
So that is not what I'm talking about. That looks awesome.
Has a frame, and then air has a vent right here that goes down and in, and that's so flies can't get out. There's a vent up top here where a light goes, and it's just, I mean, they're nice. Let me see. There's ones Amazon was selling, but I mean, just for it's basically like a fancy Exoterra, I guess, is what you'd call it.
It's gorgeous. And that honestly is not what I was thinking when you said European style. That's not what I was thinking, but that's way better than what I was thinking. I was thinking almost like a ribless fish tank.
No. Not like that at all. It's probably safe to say and like you can also, some people put like computer fans in theirs, which is also really cool. I'd like to do that with a Pumilio tank. I'd have to get another piece of glass cut though, and I'm kind of not down with that.
Yeah. Why don't you put a computer
just take
fan? Well, if you wind up doing that style of tank, whoa, look at that blue Terribilis. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's a.
Go back to that.
That might be a Galactinotus. I think that is.
That powder blue deliciousness. Show me that powder blue.
That's the blue Galactinotus. That's just got a ton of the splash. Hold on a second. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Oh my god! Oh my dude! Like, that is what makes me want to have darts. Look at that thing, bro. Look at that specimen. South Coast Dart Frogs? Who is they?
This hasn't been updated since September of 2 years ago, so
okay,
they're probably not around anymore.
Oh my god. I need that in my life. I mean, like, powder blue is probably my favorite color. Miami Vice blue is probably my favorite color. That shit's awesome. Awesome.
Oh man, I forgot that they get the Mysteriosis over there. Like, they can legally keep these.
We can't?
No, until someone buys some from Europe and gets them imported because they were captive bred. We can't have those. Huh?
Where's this person?
They're in the UK.
Okay.
Some
damn, that's good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I need to finish this book I'm working on now so I can start reading that Dark Frog Bible.
Who made that?
It's that huge. It's like $150 book. It's like a massive. It's like from 2007, so it is kind of dated in some aspects, but it's like everything you ever wanted to know about anything related to dart frogs and like natural history, it's insane.
Right.
We are, Jeff.
So I'm looking at right now. Sorry if my face is like all up in the camera. I'm looking at right now Cody's venomous Cambros because I snapped a picture because I was all excited about Sean building mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize this, but his are looks like it's a different type where it has like this weird I don't know what you'd even call it, like a texture to it to make it like a textured corner for grabbing with your hands.
Yeah, there's another company that makes a very similar. I forget what they're called. They're like the Cambro competition, more or less.
Okay, so here, just for because we're on the topic of it and we're talking about cutting glass and ventilation holes and stuff. Here, let's do this and this and that and share. All right. So that, uh-oh, I lost it. There it is. So that looks to me like that was drilled.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a drill hole. And that looks fantastic. But yeah, you can see this texturing on it, which I kind of like the idea of having it there, but I also hate it because it's unsightly.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's, maybe I will have to drill it. I don't know. Yeah, just to answer Cox real quick, I would love to have a gorgeous naturalistic vivarium with darts and bugs and rain forestness and just do it up, you know? But I realize that now I can't maintain it. I cannot keep it looking good. I let it go, and then I go, oh, I'll just do it later. And I back burner, and I back burner.
What do you think I do?
Yeah, but
mine, dude, they breed and do better when you let that algae just completely cover like the front of the cage where they can't see you.
Yeah, but doesn't that defeat the purpose of having a window into the jungle?
Well, not when I'm trying to get them to produce. Like the Vanzolini, I don't see them very often, but I know, like, the fact that they can't, all they see is like just some ominous shadow passing back and forth. They don't care. They love it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It gets into, then it goes to the classic debate of, are you keeping them so that you can enjoy them or so that they're happy? Right?
Oh.
Right.
Because I enjoy the fact that they're happy.
Yeah. All right. So like my girdle tails, I love watching them, bro. I love watching them. They hate it when I walk up to the tank. They all run and hide. But I stand like 5 feet, 6 feet back and I watch them. That's like in the group chat. I always send pictures and it's always kind of blurry. That's because I have my phone
like across the room and you're zoomed in as far
literally, I'm sitting on I'm like 8 feet away to catch that big female that I hope to God is gravid because her boyfriend died. And the minute I like let's say this is the glass. Here's my cell phone. Ready. Lizard's gone. It's like impossible, but I still love them, you know. And my friends make fun of me. They say, "Hey man, how's your pet rocks?" Because I never see them unless I sneak up on them. So I guess you got a point.
I had my little Wi-Fi camera that I was keeping on the green trees when I had them paired, but since I've separated at the moment, I moved it. I pulled out an empty tub in my hatchling rack, which is right next door to the Pumilio cage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I took a tub out, flipped it upside down, and then put it in like halfway and set the camera on that. And so I could like check in on see if the Pumilio were out like roaming while no one was home, like after things had quieted down. And so this morning I was adjusting it and I dropped it and I think it broke.
Oh.
So it wasn't that great of a camera anyway, so I'm not that upset about it. I think I'm gonna try out one of those Wise ones, like
dude,
you used.
Awesome. I don't own one personally. Henry and I borrowed one for the Cobras, and that thing was awesome. The only problem was, and it came with all this mounting hardware, right? So our friend that let us borrow it, he's like, "Hey, I don't care. Use the magnet use the magnet, stick on, use the suction cup, whatever." So I wound up putting the magnet that's adhesive, the adhesive metal plate. Excuse me. I put the adhesive metal plate on the inside of the Vision glass because I figured the glass I can always replace. I'm not going to pry it off the Vision cage plastic, you know. And we put it on there, and that thing held like a glove. But dude, cobras are cobras, and that girl knocked that camera off the magnet every single night. So eventually we saw them copulate, and I know that she looks gravid now. So we took the camera out and see what happens. But yeah, I don't know. I think going back to the me having a vivarium full of darts, what I plan to do with the rack that I'm getting from Sean is they're going to be all probably all Trimeresurus purpuromaculatus, the shore pit viper, purple spotted pit viper. They're probably going to be all of that, and I want to plant real mangrove sap, little the hell they call
yeah,
it?
like the roots and stuff.
Yeah, I want to. What the hell they call it? Pygopod? No, not pygopods. That's a legless lizard. Anyway, the baby mangroves. I want to plant baby mangroves in each tub, and then Zilla makes these micro LED plant lights that you basically stick wherever you want. I actually have one that came with the cage I got from
Yeah.
And then I figure I'll also put tape LEDs on the inside just to brighten it up a little bit. But I want to do that, and I think if I can do that on a micro scale, a half-ass micro scale, and that stays good, I want to do a massive tank, not massive. I want to do like maybe a 50 or 60 gallon tank with real water, brackish, sand, fiddler crabs, filtration,
The whole deal,
and get real black mangroves in there. So it's not saplings. I want to say saplings. It's now I gotta look it up.
I gotta pee.
I'm gonna look this up whilst you are urinating. Propagules. That's what they're called. I literally opened the window to Google and remembered it. Propagules. So there are 3 types of mangroves for those who are curious: red, white, and black. In Florida, we have all 3. I'm pretty sure the white are invasive, but I don't know. Maybe they might be native. But the white and the red propagule. All right. So this is how it works. Mangrove has branches, flowers, propagules there. It dangles. It falls off, right? So white mangroves, the propagules are circular. They're yay big. And they don't have the most elaborate root systems. The ones that we usually think of when we think of mangroves are usually reds or blacks. So the reds are the ones that you see that creep out, and the branches actually come down. The propagule falls off, and then the branches keep going, and that propagule starts a new set of branches. The black mangroves are the ones that look like horns coming out of the sand, out of the muck, out of the bottom, because those actually, the root system goes down, the root system goes up, and they're growing up out, opposed to growing down. If that makes any sense. It's late at night. I've been up a long time. Sorry. But yeah, that's the goal. And then you get pictures like this. Pretty sure I screenshotted it from Tom Carlton.
I ordered one of those cameras.
Ordered one of the what?
One of those cameras.
Oh, cool. Like just now?
Mm-hmm.
Whilst peeing?
No, I did it when we were talking about.
Oh.
You got like the taller one, right? Like you got the cam pan.
Wait, what?
You got this one?
No. It's like a little tiny, almost looks like a GoPro.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It almost looks like a GoPro, and then it has the hinge, the bracket on the back, so you can actually flip it upside down or sideways or however.
Because I want to be able to mount, like maybe just get some Velcro or something. And, well, I guess it depends on what it comes with, but like mount it to the side of that rack so it's facing the Pamilio tank.
Yeah.
And then I can just tune in and watch them whenever I'm bored at work.
Okay. Why is my Instagram not working? I'm gonna find you this picture. I had an idea of like what I wanted to do with the mangroves and all that jazz. And then Tom Carlton posts this picture, and dude, this picture's amazing. This picture's just so cool. Hold on, I'm gonna screenshot this real quick, and then we'll throw it up. And it's entitled Mangrove Pit Viper Institute. These snakes are well adapted to life in mangrove forests, having evolved cryptic coloration to blend in perfectly with their surroundings. Despite being abundant throughout much of their range, they're always a pleasure to find. And obviously, he's in Indonesia right now. Or let me screenshot this and I throw it up on the screen. And like this one is kind of an ugly specimen because of its environment, but notice how it blends in so damn well. And I know that if that animal was in captivity and shed, it would look stupid good. Let me pull this up. Photos. Okay, where am I? Oh, it didn't update. Oh no, why didn't it update? What the heck?
You got to throw in a beer can to keep it realistic.
Oh, who is that? What's it? Is that? Yeah. Well, that's that one picture. I showed you that picture, right?
Yeah, I saw that one.
Here, let me see. I think I still have that picture if we want to show it to people. That's not the picture I was trying to show you, but let me see if I still have that beer can photo. Oh my God, there's so many tree vipers. What the F? Where is it? Oh my God, I have like 7,000 photos on this phone. I have a problem. How far back is this friggin' picture? Oh, here it is. So, here, let's do this. Share that. That's the beer can photo. I don't know if y'all can see it, but in the...
It looks more like a Pepsi can to me.
Actually, I think that might be a Pepsi can. Or a Bark Root beer, maybe?
Neither here nor there.
Neither here.
Born in the Carolinas, dying in Sulawesi.
Exactly. Right? All right, let me find the real picture that I just friggin' downloaded. Hold on. Oh my God, there's so many photos. Okay, let's quit the photos. I'm about to just go into his, I don't know what the hell happened to it. But we're going to go like this. Because you can go on Instagram on PC, right?
Correct. Even though nobody does.
So, here we'll turn on.
Get out of here, bug.
Share. All right. You see it?
Oh, yeah. I know this dude. I don't know him, but I've followed his stuff.
Yeah. Why is this not letting me? Whoa. So, yeah. How awesome is that? I wish I could zoom in, but I can't.
They're just Asian cottonmouths.
There are boreal Asian cottonmouths. Dude, like I want that in a terrarium. How awesome is that? Look at those red roots and that mud with those dead leaves. You know it's low tide. there's like fiddler crabs crawling around, picking stuff up, putting it in their mouths, annoying the viper. I think it's awesome. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Cox. Throw that up, man. We gotta go, man. We gotta go. We just gotta friggin' go.
We're gonna end up like the can buried in the swamp.
Yeah, I know, right? That's it, man. And dude, if you had asked me like 10 years ago, like, how do you feel about your perps? I would have been like, they're trash snakes. I have this one because somebody gave it to me. I literally threw them together and they produced neon purple babies that I think we sold for like $25. And now I'm kicking myself because now I want that and I can't find that.
It's funny how things sort of fall in and out of vogue.
That's it, man. That's it. Falling out of vogue.
I mean, like we're seeing that with IJs right now. Like,
exactly.
Years ago, IJs were like a dime a dozen. No one saw any sort of potential in them on any serious level, and they got written off. And now they're like, they've almost replaced jungles in terms of.
I think they have
like, the rat race.
I think they have. I really do.
Like I remember the era of jungles, and it was wild. Like that was the thing. Were jungles, those highlighter yellow, those ivories.
Yep.
And now they're jungles. Just I don't know what it is about them that they've just sort of fallen out of the spotlight. But maybe it's just people realizing they can find something that's just as pretty and also smaller and not as nasty tempered.
Well, like I always got made fun of by my friends because I love brown snakes, and like that's just my thing. It's like muted colors, earth tones, brown snakes. And like I thought about it, I was like, I've always had ugly ass earth tones. I haven't had blue and green and crazy yellow. It's just not my thing. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But like, here, check this out. Like this is one of the perps at Underground that I'm highly contemplating. And I'm spending my shekels before I even have them because I'm going to get some hazard pay from work just because it's been a crazy friggin' ride. Dude, look at that animal.
Oh, yeah. Is that one of the ones where you were like kind of deciding if you wanted to do that one or the other one?
No, that's not even one of those. That's another one that I didn't even know was like, I didn't look at. I was just like, oh, it's another brown one. And then like, Henry and I were feeding stuff 3 days ago, and dude, that thing is looking great. And it took that frozen thawed right off tweezers, bro.
Nice.
No questions asked. They just took that frozen thawed right off. And then I sat there trying to get him to yawn. I took 50 friggin' pictures of him sitting there with a mouse in his mouth trying to yawn. But like I look and like I love this little white stitching, and then he's got good saddles. I like how some of the saddles are open like a diamondback and some of them are real tightly closed and almost, just like a tiger stripe-ish. I don't know. I just think, it's a great looking animal. I just love the way it looked, man. It just looked good, It looks like a happy little viper,
They're not happy at all.
Oh no, miserable. I fed my black one. I fed him. I was like, you know what? Let me try and see what he can take. So I got a smaller rat pink, and dude, he wrecked that thing. Slurped it down like it was made of cotton candy. So I got lucky with him. I told you I finally got my Viper book that I can't stop talking about.
Yeah, that looked good. That looked really good.
That book is so awesome. I have I haven't read a single thing from that book. I've just glanced through it, like pictures and stuff. And dude, everything from locality specific photos, husbandry tactics, It even goes into, like I was saying, about like the ventilation holes and shit, and like the way that airflow moves through a cage. And you could tell that, like, when Visser wrote the book, or when was writing a book, he had to have been writing this book over decades, because it's got a ton of pictures from like the 70s that that those pictures are older than dirt, because nobody makes cages like that anymore. But then at the same time, all the photos of the animals are like most definitely HD, modernized. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
The where is my pictures from Henry? So why is this so tiny? So I sent Henry.
She said.
What's that?
So that's what she said.
Oh man. So I sent Henry some screenshots from the book. I know I sent you this in the group chat, but dude, look at this. So this is Tremercerus buniana. Check this shit out. Look at that animal.
It's like a Venestus and a perp had a baby.
It's like you took a Venustus and dipped it in blue Kool-Aid.
That too.
I mean, that thing is crazy.
It's mind blowing how huge that whole group is.
Dude,
Trimerestrus, Parias, Cryptolytrops, like all that stuff. Man, yeah. It's just holy shit.
So, I mean, this book is. I'm just gonna flip through a couple of these that I sent Henry. Like, that's a centerfold in between, I think, Protobothrops and Tremercerus. Like, that's the segue that he has in the book between Protobothrops and Tremercerus. Like, how awesome is that?
That's pretty sweet. What
a friggin' centerfold, man. And then
did I show you the cover of the next issue of the magazine?
I don't believe you did. Hang on a minute. Let me exit this. Why don't you throw that up and tantalize my arborealness that I never gave a shit about arboreal stuff in that. You know what it is? It's hanging out with you. That's what it is.
I feed the addiction.
Yeah, I mean, that's really it. I mean, you, Andy, Hogstat, all you freaks with your arboreals. Now I'm one of you. Great. Thanks a lot.
So the cover's not done yet, so this is incomplete, but you will see it.
Are you putting it live, or are you sending it to me personally?
I'm sending it to you personally. I'm super weird. I'm super weird about showing the cover before it's time. It's like a superstition.
That's fine. I like it. I'll be honest with you. I'm probably not going to have any new article this month because of the corona. I'm just fucking can't.
Well, I have the herping one.
Oh, you're putting that in this month?
I think I might. It depends on how much space I'm working with after everything is said and done.
Whatever.
Because I had some articles and there were some big ones this round.
Okay. I was just like, I was looking at like the date, like it's already the 20th, and I was like, man, I know I just sent Justin that other one, that ethics one. And I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to write another one this month because of the virus and work and all the other crap.
Well, I have some of the other ones too that you sent previously that you were.
I would still like to.
Only if you have to.
No, I love doing this, man. Freaking love it, legit. Oh, Protobothrops. Mr. Cox wants to know about the Japanese habu. So I have only worked with. Now I can't remember. 2 different Protobothrops. I've worked with 2 of the 3. Oh no, what is it called now? Henry, what's the one we just had? Tell me, Henry, what's the one we just had? I've worked with 2 of the 3 Highland Chinese ones, and then I worked with another one from some islands off the coast of China that was really rare, but nobody knew what the hell it was, so nobody cared. I've always wanted to have Flavoviridis.
Did you see that new one? See that new one they just discovered in Thailand? Pretty dope, right?
Pretty dope, bro. Pretty dope. So I have never seen Flavoviridis in person. Those of you who don't know, that's the Okinawan habu. That's the biggest one. It's the meanest one. It's the coolest looking one. Jordoni. Thank you, Cox. Thank you.
I was like, there's only a handful of proto.
I know. It eluded me. So I've worked with 2 of the 3 Jordoni, and to be honest, I thought it was just like a color morph. But in the book that I just got from Visser, it actually puts all 3 in a taxonomic illustration. Well, that one I'm about. He has a taxonomic illustration of the 3 different subspecies, essentially.
Because there's like Jordani, and then there's Xanthomelos. Is that the other one?
Yeah, but he's saying, hold on, actually, pretty sure I have a picture of that in the hen dog chat, because I talked to Henry more than I talked to my mother. Yeah, here it is. Oh my God, there's so many clicks. Oh my God. So there you go. So that's the 3. So if I can open this and preview, can you still see it?
It's black at the moment.
Oh, hold on. Let's try it again. Stand by. Stand by. How about now?
It's this illustration.
Right. So that's what I want to show you. So now that I did that, now I can zoom in.
So what's the one all the way to the left?
So
Jordani.
Yeah. So there's
okay.
Okay, and then
Xanthomelos is the one with the red.
Yeah. Correct.
Because I've seen those at shows.
Right. So I've worked with these in the past, and then like 2 or 3 of these, and one of which was the one that Henry and I just had underground that just sold. I've never seen this before.
The Barretti.
Yeah. Now, the Flavoviridis, my mom is a high school teacher at a private school, and one of the directors of science there, he used to keep Flavoviridis in a flight cage in his living room.
I think I remember you told me about that.
Yeah, so he had 3 of them, and he said he would not open the cage unless he had 3 handlers with him, because one snake would shoot out the front and go on top of the cage, another snake would shoot out, bear to the right, and go right underneath his couch, and then the other snake would stay in the cage and fight.
Tactical.
Just tactical.
SEAL Team 6.
Mm-hmm. But they're supposed to be one of the most, if not the most intelligent tree viper ever. So, what is Cox saying now? Once you're on Mang Shang's vipers on video. And I'm sorry, but I don't believe, and this is me not being a scientist, I don't think that Mang Shang's should be considered or lumped in with protobothrops. I don't.
You think they should be monotypic?
Monotypic. If they can give Apodora their own thing and not lump them with the rest of them, then Zauermangchenensis should have its own thing, in my personal opinion. There was another one I was going to show. Oh, I got a picture from Justin. Bruh. Bruh.
Playful secret.
Bro. That's one of the best covers you've done yet. That's phenomenal, bro. Is that helping with the new technology? The new software?
Kind of. That's going to be more of like you'll see the the beneficiary of that in like the actual article layouts.
Bro, that looks so friggin' good. The font is awesome. The font of the article title is phenomenal, and then the I'm gonna ruin it, but the Spilotes stuff, that font just like
I spend so much time on like the heading fonts and stuff for that, because I'm like anytime I have to make graphics for like the THP stuff and whatever, like I spend more time on the freaking font style than anything else.
Yeah.
Like yeah. I'm so weird about that, and having like wanting it to look perfect, but then having it all match. Like for the covers now, I pick 2 fonts and then I alternate them. And so you'll see what I do that. Like I use the same font on like the heading, and then the other one is going to be like a different font, and then go back to the same one, so it's all cohesive and sort of.
Bro, like on the bottom when you put industry spotlight and it has like the hyphens before and after it.
Yeah.
Even that looks just so good, dude. You're such a fucking artist. I love it, man. I really love it. I'm geeking out. For those of you who don't know, I was a fanboy of THP before Justin and I were Justin and I. And it feels so awesome to be permitted to be into this THP Herp Mag. I feel great about it. I love it. I'm happier than a pig in shit. Happier than a clam in the mud. I gotta find. There was one other photo I was gonna show you. God, Henry, why do we have so many pictures, bro? Why? Oh, and then Henry sent me some king cobras that are West Indonesian localities, and dude, some of these
I want the king cobra locality article.
Yell at him, man. Yell at him.
Hen dog.
I told him that he can. I told Hen Dog that I will come over to his house with a laptop and I will allow him to dictate the article to me. And I will sit there quietly and just go and write the bitch.
I'm staring into your soul, Hen Dog, and I want the article.
Give the man what he wants. Give the people what they need, Hen Dog.
I sent you another picture.
Did you know?
To give you an idea of the prowess of InDesign. It's on Facebook Messenger.
Okay. Hold on, I'm opening.
Show you what's new with InDesign and how I can do things with that I could not do before.
Okay. So you showed this to me on here, on Snakes and Stogies, before it was finished. And I thought it looked breathtaking. And then you showed me the real photo without the words and everything. And dude, it looks so good. Wait, no. Did you show me this one or did you show me a different one? Because I thought you had word wrapping on the other one.
No?
No?
Well, yeah, no. I showed you the other one of the Albalabris.
Yes, that's what you showed me.
Yeah.
This still looks good. You know what it is? You showed me this picture and talked about how you were going to do word wrap. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so now that we've been teasing the people listening at home, I can't come by tomorrow. I want to, Henry, but I have to work. I'm probably going to go in at like 10 a.m. Oh, God, 10 a.m. And do that tomorrow because tomorrow's a short shift. We're only open from noon to 5. So try and bang that out. I'm going to show this, though. So everyone know what McGregor eye looks like?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're amazing.
Mm-hmm. So McGregor eye come in a wide assortment of colors. There's like uglier gray ones. There's pretty white ones.
I love the white ones, dude.
Yeah,
the white ones make me feel kind of funny, like I when I used to climb the rope in gym class.
Yeah, right. So McGregor eye only come from a few small islands in the northern Philippines, and because the Filipino government is very, very strict on export, they're very expensive. They're very rare in the pet trade. However, if I ever get a chance to see this in person, I'm going to have to just take a mortgage or a loan or something because this needs to be in my.
Yes, I forgot about that. Those ones. I know.
Look
dude.
at that animal. Look, hold on. I'm gonna get back in this real quick. That is not what I wanted.
Do they have a section on the Pariah Schultz eye?
They do, and there's only like 3 or 4 pictures in there because I don't even think they call it Pariahs. I think it still says Tremor.
Yeah, it was Tremor. It was before the switch.
So hold on a minute. What the hell did I just do with that picture? No, I don't want to open FaceTime. What's wrong with you? Oh no, what did I do? So there's that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then look at the white one below it.
I know the white ones are awesome because I love how the eye is like a silver white as well, like the eye matches. It's like a leucistic without being leucistic.
Exactly, dude. Imagine what that animal looks like at dusk with the pupil, opened more.
Yeah, like an alien, dude.
Alien, bro. Hold on. So, like, the book has a bunch of things, but all right, I'm gonna exit out of this because. Sorry about that. So I was also amazed going back to the book, just because we're fucking flip flopping left and right on here. I was under the assumption that there was only a handful of pit vipers that laid eggs, and to my knowledge, and meager knowledge, because I am not an expert, you had bushmasters, you had Malayan pits, and just a small handful of other ones. Dude, half of Tramerceris, I think, lay eggs. I didn't even know that. Yeah, it's like Hagenii lay eggs. I never knew that. I mean, I don't know anyone that's ever bred them in captivity. I mean, I know people, I'm sure people have, but I don't personally know anyone. I didn't know they laid eggs. So like, and I think Henry was telling me that I guess the Parias, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess Parias was the egg layers, and Tramerceris was not. I think something like that. I don't know. Henry, where are you? Chime in, bro. Come on. Making you part of the conversation. Yes, Cox. Bushmasters lay eggs, which is another reason why they are so friggin' hard to breed. Because not only do you got to get them to breed, but you got to get the eggs away from mom, and then you got to take care of the eggs. And from what I gather, they are very, very susceptible to mold. So I have who the frig's book is it? I have the Bushmaster book, and I started reading it on a plane ride, and I never got out of chapter 1. I got to open it back up again.
Is that Ditmar's one?
Yes, thank you. Yes, Ditmar's book.
Parias lay eggs.
There we go. Yeah, actually, it's super cool. If you let me see if I can find a Lachesis. Oh, I spelled it right. Eggs. Images. Oh yeah, this has gotta get screen shared. We're all about the screen shares tonight, kids.
Yeah, we'll do this, and then I got a dip here in a few.
Okay.
Look at those little guys.
Look at that.
Little dinosaurs.
Look at that. Uh-oh. Rabbit hole. Look at that little nugget. Look at that little nugget. I think Cox's jaw just hit.
Look at those bizarre, undercalcified eggs too.
Yeah, right. Apparently, it's like it feels like almost like rice paper, from what I gather. Look at that little nugget.
I think Ryan Cox, if I'm not mistaken, they're like nest builders.
Yeah, they are.
That's cool.
Let's do this real quick.
I wonder how big those bet you those eggs are fucking huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's the big babies, big eggs.
Yeah, right. There's so much crap on Google. On the Google.
Yeah, you have no idea what you're gonna get when you
click that. I don't know where this is gonna take me. Field herb for him. Damn, son, look at that photo.
That sucker's red.
Sucker's red. Got that saturation up high. That's cool.
I love the red eyes on those too.
Yeah, this is like Suriname, right?
Like freaking diabolic.
Dragon armor. Look at that slight little bit of iridescence right there.
Yeah. Wow.
Almost looks like it's got no pupil. Oh, Epicrates. So
Epicrates or Grady's.
they are. All right, man. You dipping out?
Yeah,
All right.
I am.
Well, clearly Cox is blown away right now.
Yep, we're gonna leave him on that note. Let him process everything.
Let that simmer for a little bit, Cox.
That's right. Let it
Yep.
let it baste a little bit.
Let it baste. Let it brine a little bit. Well, good night, Moon. To be continued. Thank you all for watching and joining us on Snakes and Stogies, episode 14? 15. 15. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good night.
Later.